Holy Mary, Mother of Faith, today I come before you with an open heart. I come carrying questions, uncertainty, and a desire to trust again. I come not because my faith is perfect, but because I am willing to place my trust in God. Mary, you believed when the path was unclear. You trusted God before you understood His plan. You said yes even when the future felt unknown. Teach me that kind of trust. There are moments in my life when faith feels easy, and there are moments when faith feels heavy. Moments when waiting tests my patience, and silence tests my hope. Mary, stay with me in these moments. Help me understand that faith does not remove uncertainty. Faith walks with uncertainty, hand in hand. Faith chooses God even when answers do not come quickly. Teach me to choose God again today. Mother Mary, you trusted God with your whole life. With your youth, your future, and your body. You trusted Him with things you could not control. Teach me how to release control with the same grace. When fear rises in my heart, slow my breathing. When anxious thoughts appear, quiet my mind. When doubt whispers that I am forgotten, remind me that God sees me. Mary, you trusted God even when people questioned you. Even when others did not understand what God was doing in your life. You trusted God when obedience came with sacrifice. Teach me courage when my faith is tested. Sometimes I want proof before I trust. Sometimes I want certainty before I surrender. Mary, teach me that faith moves first, that trust comes before clarity, that God works even when I cannot see the outcome. Mother of Faith, help me trust God with today, with this moment, with this breath. Help me trust Him one step at a time. There are things I am holding tightly, afraid to let go. Dreams I fear losing, prayers I fear will go unanswered. Mary, help me place these gently into God's hands. Teach me that surrender is not weakness. It is strength rooted in faith. It is choosing God over fear. It is believing that His plans are good. Mary, you carried faith quietly. You did not rush God. You did not demand explanations. You allowed God's will to unfold in His time. Teach me patience in my waiting seasons. When I feel tempted to rush answers, slow my heart. When impatience grows, remind me that God is never late. When discouragement creeps in, anchor me in hope. Mother Mary, walk with me as I learn to trust again. Not perfectly, not all at once, but sincerely. Help me trust God even when my faith feels small. I place my questions before God. I place my worries before God. I place my future before God, just as you did. Teach me to trust that God is working behind the scenes, that growth is happening even when I cannot feel it, that faith is forming even in silence. Mary, remain with me as this prayer continues. Hold space for my heart. Prepare me to trust more deeply, to surrender more fully, to believe more boldly. Mary, Mother of Faith, as this prayer continues, I allow my heart to open wider. I allow myself to sit with what I feel. I allow faith to grow gently, without force. There are days when trusting God feels natural, and days when it feels like work. Days when hope rises easily, and days when hope feels fragile. Mary, you understand these days. You lived faith one ordinary moment at a time. You trusted God not only in miracles, but in daily routines, in quiet mornings, in simple acts of obedience that no one else noticed. Teach me that kind of everyday faith. Sometimes I think faith must be dramatic to be real. But you show me that faith can be quiet, that faith can exist without applause, that faith can grow in unseen places. Mary, help me trust God in the small things, in the decisions I make quietly, in the prayers I whisper, in the moments when no one else sees my effort to believe. There are areas of my life where trust feels stretched, areas where I fear disappointment, areas where I fear letting go because I have been hurt before. Mary, hold my heart with gentleness. Teach me that trusting God does not erase past pain, but it allows healing to begin. It allows hope to take root again. It allows my heart to soften instead of harden. Mother Mary, you trusted God through waiting. You waited in silence. You waited without timelines. You waited without guarantees. Yet you remained faithful in every season. Teach me to wait without resentment. When I feel restless, center me. When I feel discouraged, steady me. When I feel tempted to take control, remind me to surrender. Mary, you trusted God with your timing. You did not rush His plan. You allowed His promises to unfold step by step. Help me trust that God's timing is wiser than my own. There are prayers I have carried for a long time. Prayers that have shaped my days and visited my thoughts. Mary, help me trust God with these prayers. Help me believe that He has not forgotten them. Teach me that unanswered prayers are not wasted prayers. They are forming me. They are strengthening my faith. They are teaching me to rely on God more deeply. Mother of faith, you trusted God even when you did not speak. Even when words were unnecessary. Even when silence was the only response. Teach me to be comfortable with sacred silence. When I want immediate reassurance, teach me patience. When I want certainty, teach me surrender. When I want proof, teach me trust. Mary, help me trust God with my emotions, with my fear, with my hope, with my joy and uncertainty. Help me believe that God welcomes my whole heart. Sometimes my faith feels strong. Sometimes it feels tired. Mary, teach me that faith does not need to be constant to be real. It only needs to be sincere. Help me trust God even on days when belief feels quiet. Even on days when hope whispers instead of shouts. Even on days when trust is simply choosing not to give up. Mother Mary, walk beside me as I continue. Let your presence bring calm. Let your faith inspire mine. Let your example remind me that God is worthy of my trust. As this prayer deepens, prepare my heart, prepare my spirit, prepare my faith to surrender more fully. Remain with me, Mary. Guide me gently. Strengthen my trust. Lead me forward as this prayer continues. Mary, Mother of Faith, as this prayer reaches its final moments, I pause with a grateful heart. Grateful for the grace to trust again. Grateful for the courage to place my faith in God's hands. Grateful for your presence that has stayed with me through this prayer. Mary, you remind me that trust grows slowly, that faith is not forced. That belief deepens when it is given space to breathe. Help me honor the pace at which God is working in my life. I release the need to rush my journey. I release the pressure to have everything figured out. I release the fear that tells me I am falling behind. Mary, help me trust that God's plan is unfolding perfectly. You trusted God even when His will surprised you. Even when it asked more of you than you expected. Even when obedience required sacrifice. Teach me to trust God even when His plan stretches me. Mother of Faith, help me trust God with outcomes, with results I cannot predict, with answers I cannot control, with paths I cannot fully see. Help me believe that God's wisdom surpasses my understanding. There are things I still do not know, questions that remain unanswered, situations that are unresolved. Mary, teach me that faith does not demand closure. Faith rests in God's faithfulness. Help me trust God when progress feels invisible, when growth feels slow, when silence feels long. Help me remember that roots grow deep before fruit appears. Mary, you trusted God not only with joy, but with sorrow. Not only with beginnings, but with endings. Not only with hope, but with heartbreak. Teach me to trust God in every chapter of my life. When I am tempted to compare my journey to others, when I feel discouraged by delays, when I question my worth, Mary, Bring my focus back to God's promises. Remind me that His work in me is personal and intentional. Mother Mary, help me trust God with my body, with its rhythms, with its healing, with its future. Help me believe that my body is not forgotten, that it is seen, held, and loved by God. Help me trust God with my health, with my strength, with my limitations. Help me rest in the truth that God cares for me completely. Mary, teach me to trust God in the waiting, not with bitterness, not with frustration, but with openness. With hope, with quiet confidence that God is still moving. As I return to my day, let this trust remain with me. Let it guide my choices. Let it calm my thoughts. Let it soften my reactions. Help me carry faith into every moment. Mother of faith, help me trust God again tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. Help me choose faith even when emotions fluctuate. Help me stay anchored in God's love. I place my life in God's hands, my past, my present, my future, just as you did. Mary, thank you for walking with me. Thank you for reminding me that trust is possible. Thank you for pointing my heart back to God. I trust that God hears my prayers. I trust that God knows my needs. I trust that God is working even now. With humility, with hope, and with a heart open to faith, I choose to trust God today. Amen.